And so I don't know what large dog means on this because
Marmaduke.
Yeah, if you got a Scoobied,
Clifford.
yeah, Clifford,
You
yeah.
just sit on you. Idiot.
I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on the blood-soaked face of Scooby-Doo as he stands over your body and goes.
It's the last thing you hear as the life leaves your body.
Zoink Scoob,
Like Zoink Scoob, you gotta stop doing this. Gus, it's so good to see you. How have you been liking retirement?
Retirement?
Yeah.
I'm not retired.
Yeah.
No, I'm still here, baby.
I'm
working.
All you do is you just go out there on what's your plane called? A Sienna? And you're just out
Sienna.
there in the siesta, just flying.
In the siesta.
and then flying in the Sienna Miller,
Yeah.
high over the Alps.
The Alps in Central Texas.
That's right.
No, I'm still here, still working on other podcasts. Not this one. Typically not this one.
Well, you didn't have to say it like that.
I don't know, Gus. According to all the comments, you've been dead.
Yeah.
You've been retired. You left the company, and
No, you can tell I'm not doing this because the numbers are way up. Y'all are fucking killing it. I'm not an anchor around the neck of this podcast anymore.
No, we love having you. It's been so great because Gus shares an office with us.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when we're doing our writer's room, he's in there and we'll just turn around and drop like a line or a joke that gets everyone all fucking excited. You've still been writing for this podcast.
yeah,
just rarely and sparingly.
But it'll be great because Gus will be sitting there, headphones on. So we assume like he's like listening to something, watching something, and then it's just. What about turns around like hello?
It's like I don't have things on so loud that I can't hear what's going on in the room. You
Right.
know, when the shooter walks into the building, I want to know that they're there.
Jesus Christ!
Well, you'll be able to hear my footsteps.
Yeah.
Listen, we live in the United States. We're all thinking it at any moment. You're like, it could happen.
It could happen. I mean, yeah, we live in a fucking nightmarish hellscape of constantly armed hooligans. So
I know that I'm not the first person to make this comment, but like I remember after the Batman thing, you remember
oh
that?
my
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
God, yes.
The Joker guy, where like I remember for a really long time, if you had dyed hair in a movie theater, everyone was uncomfortable around you.
Oh no, people were scooting down. They were like looking at the exits. They were if you had dyed hair in a movie, all the blue hairs. That was the original. That was the original like fear, like fucking patient zero for all that shit.
So this thing happened this weekend. Speaking of movies, by the way, where I wanted to go watch a movie, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm being very literal here.
Okay.
Every single movie in every single theater in the city of Austin was sold out or only had a couple of seats in the front row.
Dude, I had the exact same experience.
What is
I couldn't see anything.
Is it just because it was so hot?
Maybe.
Okay, so that's an interesting phenomenon. I think you're not wrong because in India, the reason their movies are like 4 hours long, the reason the movies are 6 hours long in India and amazing and cover every fucking genre is because movie theaters were the only air-conditioned places for a long time. And so like you'd go to the movie theater in India to cool down. Like that was the place you went to like escape the heat for like...
That's how it used to be in the United States in the 50s, right?
Yeah,
like they would
yeah.
advertise like movie, air condition.
Yeah, air condition, like blows cold. Yeah, like...
This is starting to make so much sense why Bollywood has so many like weird, ludicrous scenes that seem to not make sense in the movie, but are tradition.
Yeah.
Including the big dance number at the end. It's almost like, okay, well, they still need to be air conditioned for a while. What if we all just started dancing in a way that sort of represented the film's theme?
Yeah, like crack the blinds, sun's still out, let's go. Like let's fucking boogie. Yeah, exactly.
My wife and I went to see a movie a couple of weeks ago. We went to the draft house and we walked in. We were the first people in there, you know. It was not very full. It was Indiana Jones. There was nobody there. And we
and the missing audience.
Yeah. We went in and the server came out and was like, hey, just so you know, the air conditioner is broken in this theater. I was like, oh, great. And he says, by broken, I mean, we can't turn it off. It's going to get cold in here. We cannot adjust it. I was like, oh yeah, break them all, baby.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Give me a pipe wrench. I'll start cracking them open, like getting these things nonstop humming.
There has been like such a huge shift in, and I think it's honestly climate change. I'm not trying to be like fucking political or anything here. I'm just saying that when I was a kid, during the summer, we used to go camping a lot, or we'd go on like road trips, and you would not fucking catch me going to a drive-through this summer. Like, I go from my air-conditioned house to my air-conditioned car to my air-conditioned office and then back home, and
Reverse order.
yeah, and then you can't get me to leave anywhere, or if you do, I just have to be prepared to like take a shower as soon as I get back. It's awful. It's an awful place. But I remember like going out all the time. Like, I haven't been camping in forever, I feel like.
Well, like Central California feels like a really campable place. This place, not anymore, baby. We've lost summer camping. It's gone. Can't do it anymore.
I actually don't think that I would ever camp in Texas. You have so many fucking bugs.
You have bugs in California. Get out of here.
Not
Get
like
out
this.
of here.
Not like this, dude. This last weekend, I was in South Austin, and I watched a tarantula eating a cockroach, which is the most terrifying thing I could imagine. It was like watching Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah,
where you're like, you're both fucking monsters, but I'm glad one of you is dying a little bit.
You know you're in South Austin because that tarantula had a 78704 bumper sticker on its butt. It was
had an Oat Willie sticker on it. Yeah. God damn. It's real Aliens versus Predator. Whoever wins, we lose. Like, it's it's like if the tarantula wins, now I've got a tarantula. Like,
but fucking flip side, if that cockroach wins,
we're all doomed.
We're all fucked.
Yeah.
The cockroach beats the tarantula. I mean, nuke from orbit. Like, call in the strike.
And
like,
it'll live. They can live past nukes, right?
Yeah, I think
the
so.
whole thing.
the nukes are to kill us.
Yeah.
to spare us
right.
the horrible, yeah.
I fucking hate bugs. And we have bugs in California for sure, obviously. But I have never seen... First of all, I've never been bitten by so many mosquitoes since I've been here in the 2 months that I've been here. I have not seen so many bugs since I've been here. And then every time I complain about bugs here, people from other places in Texas try to make me feel better by being like, oh, I grew up 30 minutes outside of town, and we had to check under our pillows for scorpions every night. And it's like, that's not better. Now I just know that's also real.
Oh, yeah. Now that's also a possibility. It's like, psh, man, bugs, where I'm from, 10 minutes outside the city limits, snakes come up through the toilet. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't make me feel better at all.
That's like your kid being like, I'm afraid of the monster under my bed. And you being like, monster? You should be afraid of murderers.
Yeah, exactly.
You should be afraid that you're going to be an Amber Alert daddy doesn't pay attention to. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like, get ready to be a statistic, kid.
Oh my God.
Speaking of camping, so this, like, I think it's like a perfect segue into something I wanted to talk about this episode. Speaking of camping, and camping especially in national parks. National parks are maybe the only good thing America's ever done. I'm like gonna go out on a limb and say it's probably the only good thing America's ever done, which is
that's not true, Andrew. I'm pretty sure we invented Coca-Cola and drone strikes.
And then changed the name to Fanta so we could keep selling it to the Nazis.
Yes.
That's right. So
a man steeped in American history over here.
Look it up. Anyway, so national parks are wonderful. It's really truly incredible that the government said, hey, we should probably save some of our natural resources and preserve them as pristine things of natural beauty that people can enjoy and experience. And they're also death traps. They're also they're not only are they beautiful, they are the sirens of the natural world, because lots of people go missing in national parks.
Yeah, all the time.
And it to me, and something that like really interests me about this is that it feels like, from like the limited research that I've done, it feels like a natural split between, national parks are just really huge places. They're also, nature is kind of scary.
Nature is dangerous.
Nature is dangerous because it doesn't care if we live or die out there. It's indifferent. It's just doing what it's doing.
The fucking killer cockroaches are going to take over, and they're just waiting in the wings, which they also have, by the way. They can fucking fly, and they don't. They don't play their full hand.
Oh, And not only that, they can fly when it gets warm enough.
Yes.
So like it's like oh, the temperature hits 98 and it's like they get like a superpower to scare the living shit. Oh my God. I just remembered I walked up to my front door the other night and there was a cicada that I didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
Cicadas scream when they try and fuck. They're trying to fuck right now. The cicadas are out and they're trying to fuck. So they're like screaming at each other saying, hey, let's hit. And
Hey, BB, you want some?
yeah, exactly. It's like constant you up, like all night. And I didn't see the cicada above my door. And so when I opened the door, it went, screamed, and then hit its giant fucking like doorstop sized body into the fucking door in front of me. And I screamed so loud. Oh my gosh, just like
we talked about this the other day, you and I, is that I was in my car.
I had a similar experience.
Yeah, I was in my car on my way to Andrew's bug-infested house. And when I got into my car, my phone like light turned on because I was trying to like play some music on it or whatever. And it illuminated like my stomach and leg area. And I saw crawling up my leg towards the opening of the bottom of my shirt was like some kind of bug. I didn't know what it was. It was like a cockroach mixed with a cricket or something.
Okay.
It's fucking disgusting to look at. And I had not like started my car yet. And I was in my parking garage and I made the least attractive noise a human has ever made before.
Yeah.
I've tried to like describe what it was. It's like, it's a mix of fear, panic, and then also like the primordial sense of urgency and like cowardice is what
it was not a battle cry.
No. It was there's no way I'll ever be able to make that noise again, but it was along the lines of it was just absolute disgust, and then it echoed and reverberated throughout the garage. I opened my door and I like fucking brushed it off me, and Andrew will be able to tell you that I can't even look at fake bugs. I can't kill bugs. They're terrifying. I like freak out. This made me so mad. I got a running start and jumped up and slammed down on whatever it was. And it was like in just a blind rage. But I realized that if I had not noticed and started driving, I would have died.
Oh yeah,
I would have 100%.
You'd be wrapped around a telephone pole somewhere.
Absolutely,
and welcomed it to get you away from that bug. Just like Jesus, take the wheel and my life.
Yeah,
please.
deploy the nukes.
Yeah, exactly.
We're done.
Deploy it right here. Start with me.
Yeah,
I don't want to be around anymore. So I'm sorry. You were saying that.
I was saying I digressed by talking about giant bugs because I screamed. So nature, terrifying thing, beautiful and terrifying. And it occurs to me like how many people, there were some articles that came out recently about people who go missing in national parks. And I was going to say, I think it's a mixture between the fact that nature is kind of scary, kind of spooky, still pretty mysterious, even though that we have claimed to master it. And I think that's the other half of it, is that like man's hubris and like seemingly thinking that like we have everything figured. I have a cell phone. I can't get lost in nature. Yeah. Motherfucker. Everyone has cell phones and people disappear constantly all the time. Like, it's like, you'd think you have this fucking get out of jail free card with you at all times.
Yeah.
And it's not true.
I think we're used to living our life with like the bumpers on, like
sure.
guardrails and like being protected at all time. And then when you step out into nature and those bumpers are gone, you forget that, you're playing a life and death game, and things can go south very quickly if you're not prepared, or you get in over your head. Like, how many people do you see? Like, they're like, oh, look at that cute wild animal. I'm going to take a selfie with it. And
oh my God.
Then that animal just, floors you, walks right through you.
Gus, I'll do you one better. Do you know how many deaths occur now because somebody tried to get like a cooler picture of the Grand Canyon?
Right, yeah.
And they just like
and it's a hole.
Off of it.
It's just a
it's
hole.
It's a fucking hole.
It's been there for a few million years. It didn't surprise you.
Yeah. I've got holes that have been here for 27. No one's taking a picture with them anymore.
The OnlyFans is dried up at this point, and other things.
And yep. I was reading this thing the other day, which was basically like most people think that they could get into a fight, have no idea what would actually happen.
Right.
Like most people in general actually think that they can fight. They have this like idea that when it happens that they'll just like fucking John Wick it out and like do it. Most people would hurt themselves trying to throw a punch. And I think it's the same thing with nature. Like we all have this beautiful idea that like this is what I would do. I would chop down this log. I would turn it into this like easy shelter that I would be able to make. We literally have TV shows that are like the best, most fit people that we have on the planet, and we send them into the wild, and they last 5 days before they're like, I'm gonna die. If I stay out here anymore, I'm gonna fucking die.
And the things they do to survive is things I never want to do.
Like, 100%.
I don't want to eat those things. I don't want to drink those things. But even, abstracting that a step further back is just like, it's even if you're in your car or walking around, not even trying to do any of that stuff. Like, you're going to fucking step into a geyser or just dissolve yourself in Yellowstone. Like
Which happens a lot.
Right. That's
a lot. Like the things that like I say accidents, when they are, but like the calamities that I'm going to call them calamities at this point.
What are you, a fucking prospect?
Yeah. Well, the problem's in them, they're hills. You have to understand. The calamities that befall these people, it's like, I just don't think that people have a very thorough education in nature and like understand and a healthy respect for it, because like people think like, oh, if you go out into like Yellowstone National Park, it's the bears that are going to get you. I should be afraid of bears. I can take a selfie with this bison. It's like, brother, bison kill 50 times more people than bears. Like, it's like bison, moose. These are dangerous fucking animals. Moose are megafauna. Those things are as big as a fucking bus.
It's huge.
Isn't the like statistic? Please don't ever quote me on this. But isn't the statistic like meese?
Yes, meese.
Isn't the statistic that meese kill more people than sharks do?
I believe that is correct.
Yes.
Yeah. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, because people are insane. And because this just ticked off something in my brain that came out a little while ago, because you think like, oh, people are just uneducated about these things. And then you read, they did a survey. Then you read this. People did a survey of
people who went missing.
They asked them, why are you lost? Cool. And then they helicopter out and don't rescue them.
Why are you lost? And they go, because they've lost their humanity.
Yeah, they've gone completely
They've
feral.
drank too much piss.
That's right. No, they did a poll of people and they asked them, like, what animal do you think you could beat in a fight? Like, what animal could you fight and win? And so I'll just give you some highlights from this list. 72% of people said they could beat a rat. Sure, we could all beat up Eric. Now,
hold on. I do want to continue, but what the fuck is wrong with those 28% of people who went, rats choking me out every time? Every time. Rats going for the jugular.
Well, it's probably piloting a chef, and they have knives. So, that's what they were probably thinking. So, 72% rat. Makes sense. I think I could probably beat a rat.
Step on a rat, sure.
I'll step on a rat. House cat, 69%. Sure.
Oh yeah, a serial killer can kill a fucking house cat.
Yeah, exactly. And
those guys, they're weak. They're weak.
So it goes down the list, and then you get to elements, you get to animals on the list, and you're like, okay. So 23% say large dog.
Oh,
and I wouldn't be as confident I could take on a large dog.
Dude.
If life and death, I would try to fight a large.
What are we talking here? Like a pit bull?
And in which case, I'm losing.
A Great Dane?
Pitbull, you're not making it out alive,
no, you're
my boy.
not.
Yeah, here's the thing. I am pro Pitbull. Sure. I love Pitbulls. I think that the statistics against them are, and to fucking come at, I don't give a shit anymore. Pitbulls, I think, they have the violent statistics because people train them so often to be violent, and it's just like a skewed thing.
Yeah, no,
it's humans that are fucked, not pit bulls.
Sure.
It's not an inherent thing.
Yeah. But the one that is fucked is Pitbull the artist, though.
Yes.
Yeah,
that guy.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Mr. World. Do you know what I fucking hate the most about Pitbull, about Mr. Worldwide? Do you know his name's Armando?
No.
Did you know no matter how hard I try, I'll never be as good as Mr. Worldwide? I'll never be the best Armando. That son of a bitch. Anyway, all pit bull artists are inherently bad. But my partner has a pit bull, and he's like a medium-sized pit bull, because I've seen pit bulls that look like they just got out of fucking prison.
Right. That's why I'm
Yeah.
asking for the clarification, because I don't think of that as a large dog.
No.
That's like a medium dog, and I could not beat that dog.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that pit bulls have the capacity to be like fucking ripped. And her dog is not very big, not very large, and not particularly like, I don't even think it's purebred pit. I think it's like mixed with something. The other day we were playing like tug of war because it was so hot. We had to keep the dog inside. The dog has so much pent up energy. We have a blanket that the dog like fucking rips up, and we were playing tug of war. This dog, like, I got the blanket back and I just saw rage in its eyes, and it like jumped on me, and I was like, this thing could kill me.
Yeah,
This thing
100%,
could
yeah.
fucking rip out whatever artery is in my neck, and I would bleed out in seconds.
Yeah, and the dog would feel nothing. No,
Yeah.
like, and so I don't know what large dog means on this, because
Marmaduke.
Yeah, if you got a Scoobied,
Clifford.
yeah, Clifford, yeah,
Just sit on you. That'd be it.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the blood-soaked face of Scooby-Doo as he stands over your body and goes.
It's the last thing you hear
Yeah.
as the life leaves your body.
Zoink Scoob,
Like Zoink Scoob, you gotta stop doing this.
I can't dig any more holes, Scoob. So, and I just picture when you said Clifford, like the giant puckered butthole of a Clifford sitting on me and just going boop and just getting fucking anyway. So, large dog, 23% people say.
Kangaroo, 1%. It's one guy. It's Chris Damaris.
It's Chris Damaris. Kangaroo says 14%. Okay,
Whoa,
I wanna,
that's
Whoa.
insane. No.
14%. No, it gets crazier.
Is it? It's hand-to-hand combat.
We assume. We can only
Okay.
assume.
Because you give me a gun, I'm winning all these.
Yeah.
And I mean all of them. I
I
don't care how much you like dogs. Dead. Clifford.
So-
Dead. Scooby. Oh no, he's got the gun. I'm dead.
I'm dead.
Ree.
It says that on your fucking tombstone. So 6% of people surveyed said they could beat a grizzly bear in a fight.
No.
Now,
Like they would kill the grizzly bear. Or
I don't know what beat in a fight means. Who cares? The 6% of people surveyed are the dumbest human beings who've ever lived.
Yeah, this is literally what we just talked about with the people who like think that they're gonna go sicko mode and just like unlock some primordial. I've said that word twice on this podcast. I just learned.
if you got that on your bingo, you win.
They think they're gonna just unlock like the primal shit that they have inside them that'll be able to like caveman win this shit.
Yeah.
You won't. You'll see a grizzly bear. First off, you'll shit your pants.
Yep.
Second off, you'll piss your pants. Third off, you'll vomit all over yourself. Fourth come. And then you're going to try to punch it and you're going to break your fucking wrist because they're just meat bags, like pure muscle meat bags.
And bears, the way they like fight you is they like rear up and land on top of you
Yeah.
and then rip you to shreds. Their body weight pins you to the ground and then they make you they julienne you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
That's how I fight.
yeah.
I've never lost.
Yeah. And so like when you see 6% of people saying like I'm beating a grizzly bear in a fight, that's when you know, that's why I can believe that so many people go missing in national parks, because I think there is a staggering lack of respect for nature. And when a tour guide at a national park says, stay on the trail, don't wander off. I know that bluff looks cool and you want to be on it when you're taking your selfie that so many other people have taken. Just like taking a photo of the worst photo of the Mona Lisa while you're at the fucking forget it. Like we believe you were there. Like
That was two things. One that's off topic is when I went to the Louvre when I was in Paris. I wanted to see the Mona Lisa because I was there, but I knew that you'd have to wait in like a 20-minute line just to get close enough, and you're not even close to it. You're like still pretty fucking far away from the Mona Lisa. I just took a picture of the line, and the Mona Lisa is, I think, maybe 3 pixels in the photo.
Yeah.
And that was the one that I posted.
of course.
But secondly, I think that there's this problem that most of humanity has where we all assume, ourselves included maybe, that we are the main characters in any story and
course.
not just
Yeah.
completely... We're just waiting to die.
Yeah.
All of us. And there's so many things that, and like when we're comfortable in our home, there's still things that can die. You know how many times I get out of the shower, put my foot down and go, whoa.
I slept funny last night. My shoulders fucked up.
Yeah.
Like,
Now you're gonna invite nature, the coldest bitch alive.
I mean, you know how many bodies fucking nature has caught? It
Yeah.
catches all the bodies. It is undefeated.
We live in a society that is constantly trying to kill it, and then you go into her house and she's cracks knuckles. Let's go, piece of shit.
Does the Henry Cavill arm cocking? All right, let's fucking go.
years ago, I used to live in Puerto Rico, and there's a national park there on Puerto Rico called El Yunque. It's the only rainforest national park in the United States.
That's Spanish for the yucky.
The yunk.
yucky.
And I was some friends were visiting me. There were 3 of us, and I was like, what would be cool? Let's go camp. At El Yunque. Like, how often can you say, like, you camped at a rainforest? So we go, we drive. It's on the other side of the island from where I'm living. Show up. I go to like the ranger station. I'm like, hey, me and my friends want to camp. What's the process for that? And the park ranger like pulls out a slip of paper, slides it across the desk to me. He's like, here, fill this out. And it's like, name, phone number, emergency contact. I'm like, okay.
Next of kin.
Yeah. And I hand it back to him, and he goes, okay, y'all can camp. I'm like, well, what's the process? Like, where's the campground? Where do I go? What do I do? He's like, oh, no, we leave at 5 and lock the gates.
What?
Yeah, just don't camp on the road and don't camp next to water. Like, don't camp next to a river.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it? He goes, yeah.
Wait,
He's
they
like, we'll be back.
lock you in there?
We'll be back in the morning to unlock the gates.
What are they?
And I had this reaction. What you're having now, I was like, that's it? Like, you just leave us here and no guidance. Like, yeah, just do whatever you want. We'll be back in the morning. So it was the most terrifying night because we were like, by the time we got there, it was already late in the day. It's like, oh crap, we have to find a place to put the tent up.
Now!
Now. There's no lights. We're in the middle of a rainforest.
What's fucking tripping me out is you have had the closest experience to the movie Night at the Museum. Like where it will literally come alive at night and try to murder you.
Yeah, it was really unsettling. I don't think we slept at all that night.
Yeah.
We were
Why
all
do
just
they-
so fucking terrified.
Could
Why
we
do
get
they
the-
lock you in? That's the thing that fucks me up. Is why are they locking you in?
I mean,
I think they're trying to keep people out, but at the same side, the other flip side is we're also locked
yeah.
in. I guess we could walk out.
yeah, I'm not locked in here with you. You locked in here with me.
Yeah.
They do. There's a campground. It's not a state park, but Krause Springs, which is a campsite near here in Austin that I love going to. But they do the same thing. They lock the gates at night.
Oh.
So like, you have to like, if you needed an emergency to get out, you have to like go to the house and like wake people up, and I'll be like, hey, someone's like bleeding to death or something. Like, there's like, no, they definitely lock the gates. Which, by the way, can we get the sound drop of from Mark Maron's podcast of him saying "lock the gates"? Can we get that? No, we can't. Okay, sorry. No, the
You freaked out one person in the sound booth. 100%. Oh, was I supposed to have that?
Mike's freaking out. But for a national park, that seems wildly unhinged to just be like,
Yeah.
fucking padlock. Well, see ya. Don't die.
I used to tell people that I like to go camping and that I went camping in the summers. I told you guys that I did that.
You won't shut up about
That was earlier. But it wasn't until recently that I realized that like what I would consider camping was not necessarily what most people would consider camping, like actual camping. I do what I think most Americans and probably majority of Californians do, where I and my family would rent out like a campsite.
Right.
And then like 90 Latinos would swarm in like tarantulas in Austin during mating season. And we would just like have that whole space. And like some of my family members would have like RVs and stuff. We stayed in tents, but it was also like I had a tent right here. My father and his girlfriend were in a tent like right next to us. Our cousins are in a tent to the other side. We would create like a suburb of people camping there. And then there was like a bunch of activities planned. There was like a mess hall. There were showers. There was like an actual bathroom.
There was a Weber grill on blocks.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually. There was drinking fountains. Like, and we would stay there for about a week. And I was like, I loved camping. And it's like, no, I loved being in a home that was just with less walls.
Right.
Yeah,
This is very taken care of.
Yeah, it was a very
Sheltered.
thank you. That is the perfect way to put it. It was a very sheltered way to camp, and it wasn't until I was an adult that I went like actual like out in the the camping that most people don't actually do, and that most like park patrol people would urge you not to do, which is just setting up a tent in the middle of nowhere and just being out there. That shit is terrifying because when you realize that you hear a snap outside your tent and it's not one of your 100 cousins, you are freaking the fuck out. What is that? What's there? I can hear things walking. The worst is like, I've had this experience once where I was camping and I was out in the middle of nowhere, which I've done only 2 times. And one of those times I was camping out in the middle of nowhere and I heard a twig snap and then I heard all the bugs go quiet and I was like, I'm dead. I am dead. That is like the supernatural, all around, world renowned sign for you are fucking dead, my guy.
Launch the nukes.
Yeah. Turn those keys, baby. Turn those keys, press the button.
My name is Armando Torres. You just watched the whole podcast. You already knew that. You can see here, we're hard at work constantly making new content, which you can watch on the Rooster Teeth site, along with the full video version of this podcast that you just watched. Don't forget to like and subscribe, the classic YouTube stuff. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to go crash this podcast.